I welcome this video data, which is really just about a simple trading technique. It's using Bollinger Bands and price action to enter trades. And this is easily one of my favorite trade setups. And whenever I see it, I will normally go for it. It just offers such great risk to reward. Probably you've seen me demonstrate it when I'm doing my sort of trading live on the charts here, when I give my live trade setups. So just want to explain in a little bit more detail for beginners exactly how the trade setup works and why it will get the odds on your sites. Let's go and take a look at some charts.
Right, we're just going to do three charts today. The first one here is USD ZAR. I did feature this in a video a little while ago in terms of entering the trade, which is this setup, but I didn't actually explain how we were using the bands in great detail. So I'm going to do it here. I'm also going to look at USD NOK in relation to the way this trade setup works, which we're doing in the member center. And finally, I'm going to do Euro SEK, which is the trade setup, and I think it's coming to fruition right now. But in terms of the strategy, this is a great quote, actually. It's from Jim Leitner. He's a hedge fund manager. Reversion to the mean strategies are no-brainers in terms of the odds. He means putting the odds on your side. It's one of the simplest strategies to understand, and yet not that many traders use it. Most beginners go for other types of strategy. I think you could build a strategy just around looking for this trade setup. Now, in terms of the trade setup, you need high volatility. You want to stall at the outer Bollinger Band. Then you want to confirm the move with a candle. And then you want to see if you're going to run band to band. Now, in terms of Bollinger Bands for beginners who are unfamiliar with them, a great tool, actually. It's easily my favorite indicator. You've got a middle band, which is a simple 20-day move-in average. Then you've got two outer bands that are set 2 deviations from the mean or the middle band. Now, in terms of 2 deviations from the mean, just shows you how volatile the price action is. So here the bands are wide as we get all these blue candles come up here. Less volatility here, okay, but the candles are a bit smaller, but generally this pair is high volatility, okay, most of the time, so it's a good one in terms of looking out for trade setups. Now, in terms of Leitner's reversion to the mean, when you get to the outer band, you basically will eventually come back to the mean price. The higher the volatility, the more you're going to come back to the mean price, or the odds are greater. Okay. Now, in terms of what I mean by this is you will not see very often price action stay outside of 2 standard deviations for long. So if we took over here, big blue candles punch up, we come outside of the outer band, get a whole candle outside of the outer band, it exhausts, okay, but it's still outside of the band. One tail goes higher here, or the tail goes higher here, doesn't get anywhere near that tail, finishes red, she reverts back to the mean, and then she'll travel band to band, okay? That's a really good setup. It's not actually one that I did, but it was a great setup for anyone who did do it. You can see it here. We get to the outer band, we go back to the mean, but don't follow through to the other band. Volatility slightly lower. Same here, back to the mean, but we go through to the outer band. When you get to the outer band, certainly in this pair, you can look to trade for reversion to the mean. And I'll just explain the setup that we did in the last video. The ZAR pushed the USD down, come back to the mean, then we come down, then we tumble outside the full red candle here outside the band, and we wanted to buy. So you get a double bottom. You've got the blue candle there. Sorry, I've just skewed my line. Blue candle comes up, but it still settles outside of the band. So we don't want to go for it just there. I want to just wait to get clear of the double top. She then comes up to the mean, she pushes through, and she goes up to the outer band. Now, in terms of this strategy, I mean, it's just extremely simple. And also what I like in terms of when price goes outside of the outer band, look at the RSI. It's its most oversold as it's been on the charts. I always like looking at the RSI. And then obviously she comes back in. It's a really nice move. It's a very volatile contract. And we did poke outside of the outer band there. It came back in. I held the trade, okay, because I still thought we were going up. We wouldn't go back to the mean price. When she went up outside the band again there, when that candle was fully blue, we bumped our stop out and, bumped our stop up. And then we came out the trade there, okay. So it's a nice move. Back in now, actually, but just band to band. Okay, if you look over here on this one when it spikes outside, look at the RSI. It's as high as it's been on the chart. Okay, it's just slightly higher than this one here. You can't see the rest of the chart, but we exhaust outside, come back in and hit the mean. Now you're not always going to travel band to band, but when you get to the mid band, you can always decide, should you come out or should you stay in? Like here, we've got that little red there. I wasn't too bothered about that. Up she goes. It's just very simple setup. Get to the outer bands on high volatility, look for the stall, and look for a candle to confirm, your entry. You want to get some strength like we did when we came off the lows, or some weakness if you're coming in on this one. This one was a good one, but like I said, I didn't do it. But when you look at it now, it looks a great one. I should have seen it at the time. On the chart of USD NOK, another quite volatile pair. Now, in terms of this strategy, you will get stopped out a lot of times. You probably lose more than you win, but the odds are just really good in my view on this trade setup, because you can use a very tight stop. Now, in terms of here, we do go outside the band, come back within. Volatility builds up, then you get that exhaustion outside. Up again, can't reach that candle tail. Down through the mid, band to band. Now, I didn't do that setup. I did the buy after we fell outside of the band here. And just really want some confirmation. This blue candle here is going to give it to us. Lower tail than this one. Selling looks exhausted. You do poke through again, but it literally reaches the other blue tail. And our stop is always a little way back. We don't use really, really close stops, because we always assume that other people might be trying to do the same, and they'll put their stop, like a few pips below the low. But got into it. She comes up. We were looking for it to travel band to band, but she then hits the mid. Okay, and then on this blue candle here, I thought it'd be a good idea to bring our stop up. Stop came up and we stopped out on this red. But that's really a 4-to-1 risk to reward, effectively, in the way we did it. Then we tumbled down again. We come to the outer band. It's this candle here that interests me, the blue. So what we do is we make a new low. We finish blue. Tail doesn't reach tail. Finish blue. We'll go long, okay, with a stop back here. And then we want to see if it's going to travel band to band. Doesn't stall at the mid band, just takes it out, and then she'll go up to the outer band and exhaust, and we put our stop. I think we got stopped out on this red. No, sorry, we got stopped on this blue tail here. But again, that would be a really good risk to reward trade. And again, on this setup here, you can see the RSI here and here, lowest the RSI has been on the chart. It's just a little bit of extra confirmation. So, those two trades were reasonable. But like I said, you will get stopped out doing this strategy.
pretty often. And yeah, doesn't matter. The odds are on your side. Now I'm going to look at Euro SEC, which is probably the one I will be stopped out on now I've said I'm going to do it. So let's shift over to Euro SEC. Right, so we're on Euro SEC, last pair, and in terms of this pair, I actually very rarely trade it. I find it's pretty erratic most of the time, but there are times that gets my interest, so to speak, like now. Now, in terms of, we just look at the setup here over on the left of the chart, you can see the blue candles aggressively move up, they hug the outer band, goes outside, settles just outside. This blue candle tail pokes through, above that tail, exhaustion of buyers, you very often see this. Then the next red candle confirms, we go to the mid, and we go band to band. Okay, I didn't do that setup. Okay, but you can see, yeah, when you get the high volatility, yeah, it just basically will very often travel band to band. You just look and see if you're going to penetrate the mid band. Now, in terms of this move up here, slightly different, very erratic, but the bands are wide now. And I just like the look of the price action because you've got this big blue. You spike outside and settle back within, but no real weakness. We're still pretty blue and strong. Then another blue comes through. That candle tail takes out that one. No more buyers. Then you've got the red, lower than the previous blue tail. We come back within the band and we finish weak. Okay, so I think that looks like it could be the exhaustion of buying. And if you look at the 1060 level, all three candles settled back beneath it that tried to get through it. I think this red could be confirming a move to the downside, and I think it could go to the outer band. But of course, as the price comes down, the band will come up, and I would target here. I think this will be a good level. Tried to get above it there and failed. And obviously a little battle around it here, push off, tail poke to try and get to the level, doesn't, and off again. So that would be the target. Where would be the stop? You want to be back from the tail. You don't want to be right behind it, as I said earlier. I'd go somewhere like there. So, yeah, basically at least 2 full points back. So, yeah, give it a little bit of room. And then you can see if she runs to the downside. Now, obviously, if she opens where she closed or thereabouts, you've got probably near enough a 5 to 1 if you did get to 1040 in terms of risk to reward. Obviously, the mid is going to creep up as well. So price starts to come down. Yeah, you got some support at 1050 in my view there. Okay, that would make it about a 3 to 1. Just have to manage the trade as it goes, because when it comes to mid, you can see if it looks like it's going to break and run band to band. So it's a very simple strategy. It does need a bit of practice, but I know people who just practice and trade this setup all the time, and they make consistent profits at it. Now, in terms of ourselves, we use Bollinger Bands all the time. You can join our mailing list on the link beneath this video if you wish for more information, or you can join our member center where you can see our actual trades. You can get all our trading techniques. We do daily technical analysis of 14 major pairs, our entry, stop and target, and we do this setup a lot. I really like it. I know we lose more than we win with it, but the odds are just normally really, really good. It's kind of a relaxed setup. You know where your stop is. Yeah, that's it. You're wrong, and yeah, it never bothers me to take a loss on this strategy. Of course, I'd rather have profits, but I know over the longer term, yeah, I've practiced this now for quite a long time, and yeah, it's just been one of my favourite ways of trading the markets. So that is the video for today. We'll see if this trade goes right. But yeah, that's the video for today. Thanks very much for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.